The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown. Today's show, Elks win and are 3-0. Oh, my. NHL draft starts tonight. The Oilers will be there tomorrow. They'll just be seat fillers, like at the Academy Awards at the Oilers table, because they don't have a first-round pick. And is this the last day on Nurse for Oilers fans? Well, maybe. Lowdown with Lowetide is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 Sierra 1500 models. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Our headliner of the day is Steve Lansky. He'll come up at 1 o'clock today. We have, of course, Declanations. And I have to tell you, I'm just coming off just a great hug fest and handshake fest with Tom Gazzola, who will be joining us as the new morning guy around here. And we're thrilled to have him, a class act all the way, a true gentleman. And I have to say, he's got the best hair in show business. And he will be back on the radio very soon. And we're delighted to have him here. And man, he's jacked for it. We absolutely are going to be better. Not that we're not fabulous, but we're going to be better with him around. We're live on sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcast as well. And we're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, and at JFenwick04. All right, we're going to talk about the NHL draft, the nearest trade. There's been some signings already. Kulak back in Colorado for another several years. NHL free agency, Elk win, Jays, and whatever Josh is excited about with the Calgary Flames. First, though, it's time for the introductions. He showed up at last night's Sports 1440 party with a beer helmet and extra tubing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
I think I showed up dressed to the nines in the most casual sense of the term.
Yeah.
No beer helmet, no tubing, nice button up. Wasn't wearing my sunglasses, obviously, but I looked semi-professional.
I thought maybe pants would have been a good idea for you.
No. We're full Winnie the Pooh on this side of the on this side of the board.
Willy-nilly, silly old bear. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. He showed up at last night's Sports 1440 party and broke down the Elks defensive coverage for us on the television. No one asked, but it was the best 2 hours of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
Yeah, not feeling my best today. A little under the weather, so I'm going to try and bow out as much as I can. Just kind of sit behind the scenes. I'll still participate in declinations, but...
You know, it's funny because I did not feel well last night, and I went home and got a great sleep, and I feel much better today. And I wish that for you today.
Thank you.
Kind of a sad little thank you. What is
going
on with my hair? It looks like I have a hairpiece now.
It was just my voice being hoarse, but I see we've already moved on. Subject.
It's the caring Lowetide in real time. No, let me ask you, are you ill? Do you need to go home?
No.
Do I need to step in, Declan?
No, I'm fine. I'm just going to hang out. I'm going to chill, press some buttons, do declinations.
Are you going to be able to do declinations?
Yeah, I mean, Josh is here too. He can do the heavy lifting, but we don't back down from a challenge.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody got how much I care about people in that little note there where I just moved on from his illness. I mean, in all honesty, if you have to go home, you should go home.
We've had to have this conversation with him before. This was a few months ago.
I left early last night and I went home and I slept and I feel so much better today, Declan.
I'm good. I feel good.
Look at my hair. It's so good. All right. So really, we give away far too much of ourselves on this show. NHL draft. The Oilers don't have a pick in the first round. Toronto does. I'm so interested in this draft because I have people I talk to who are, pretty well versed in the draft and certainly what the industry thinks about the draft. And the sense I get is by the time you're at pick 6 or 7, you're already thinking maybe we could trade down for an actual player. So I think there's going to be a lot of activity. And some of it's going to be NHL activity. And I don't know the word on the rumor street, which I don't trust anybody anymore, is that, there's somebody who wants to make a trade and wheel back after they make the trade and pick up Nurse. And my suspicion has been all along that it'll be Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That said, may not happen tonight, may not happen this weekend. So we'll look forward to, I would have somebody on who's a guru of the draft, but there's no reason. The Oilers don't pick until, 52, I don't think. And they may not even pick there. So it's once they make a pick, we can talk about the player. We'll certainly do that Monday. But the NHL draft for Oiler fans, this is the opposite of the Hall McDavid era drafting, where there was the highlight of the year. Right now, it's sort of like, okay, we get this done, and then they'll trade Nurse, and then free agency, and then maybe we'll have 3 or 4 new faces to talk about this time next week. That's pretty much what we're looking at here. Do you agree or disagree, Josh, or the ghost of Declan?
Yeah, in this market, the draft doesn't matter right now.
What about your team?
Oh, it definitely matters for me. I have the 6th overall pick.
You do?
Well, my team does.
You just said I have the 6th overall pick.
I was speaking on behalf of the Flames organization, which I know I am not a part of, and I can't believe I committed this sin because it is my least favorite thing in the world when people refer to their sports teams as we. I'm sorry. When did you sign a contract?
But it's a thing we do, right? Like it's almost like verbal shorthand.
Essentially, yes. They have the 6th overall pick. I believe Vigo Bjork is going to be picked 6th overall. This is also per Stephen Ellis's daily face-off mock draft. And the Duke made a great point today. And since they've traded for Simone Nemec, it basically means that they don't need to take a D-man with that 6th overall pick. So they can go center. Vigo Bjork, 5'10", not a lot of weight behind that 5'10" either. But skilled guy and has beat players taller than him and heavier than him. So hopefully he's the one walking across the stage today in a Flames hat. I
can't believe you're on the show and you have the 6th overall pick and you're not going to reveal it.
Probably Vigo Bjork. I don't have any. I'm not an insider. I have 150 Twitter followers at jfenwick04.
Isn't that less than you had before? What did you do?
I didn't know. No, that's definitely the most I've ever had in my life.
Man, we got to get that up. That's embarrassing.
Hey,
you're a really bright broadcaster.
It's just the way it is, Oh, never mind. I lied. I have 149. Someone unfollowed me. They're cleaning up bots on Twitter right now.
Well, it's probably Carius.
No, he never followed me on Twitter in the first place.
Oh, what a great group. I'm going to miss Carius. Good guy. Colorado brings back 2 defensemen who could have walked on July 1, Brett Kulak and Brent Burns. So Burns is 73 years old, and he can still play. And I like Kulak a lot. The Oilers traded him at a time when his foot speed was way down, and he was on a downbeat. They wanted to offload his money. As it turned out, they could have waited 3 weeks and he would have been better, or 4. The Ottawa Senators have acquired goaltender Samuel Ersson, who was in Toronto for 11 minutes in exchange for a 5th-round pick in 2027. These are the housekeeping kinds of deals. These aren't the real ones, the ones that everybody will get excited about. Connor Hellebuyck going to the Florida Panthers has to be stopped. Looks like the Carolina Hurricanes are at least trying to make a deal, last we heard. And the Nurse news should be news, but we don't know when. So I'll say Pittsburgh. I know Philadelphia has been in the conversation. I think Anaheim might be interested, but I don't think he wants to go to Anaheim. So I'd say East Coast, Pennsylvania, something along those lines might be where Darnell Nurse lands. And there is a possibility that he doesn't go there because they can't trade him. But I think we're fairly far along, and it's unlikely that the Oilers can afford to keep him because they've already spent some money on July 1st. Have I heard that before? But the die is cast here. They've decided to go. I'd be interested, though. What if Mike Babcock says, we could use a guy like that. I like him. I'm not saying he will, and I'm not saying that it would make a difference. But this is the issue, as our friends at the CBC call it, when you don't have a coach and you've already made some moves that will impact next year. Is Nurse the only thing Bowman is working on, says Sean. The Oilers aren't mentioned in anything from any insider besides Nurse. There's a lot of noise in the NHL and nothing on the Oilers. Is Bowman working? The Oilers do have needs. Sure, goaltending, but right now, what I understand is they are talking to one of their guys in Connor Ingram, and maybe they're working around Kosa, maybe not. I would prefer Michael DiPietro. I think he'd cost less, and he's a better goalie based on last year's AHL numbers. So, but I mean, they need a winger. One thing is, Nuge now can move to the wing, although if they're going to run McDavid and Draisaitl on the top line, Nuge second line, Dickinson third line, Szymanski fourth line, you could make it work. I would prefer to have McDavid and Draisaitl on separate lines. And I thought Nuge would be a really good third line center. Obviously not going to happen. All right, 12:10. It is the Lowdown with Lowetide. And I want to talk about the Elks right now. And I thought it was a great game. The first portion of the game, Elks played extremely well. They got a little boring and typical and predictable offensively in the second half. And let's give Winnipeg some credit here. They pushed back. But in the end, the Elks win again. They're 3-0. And I think you have to make a case for them being the best team in the CFL. I know that sounds nuts, but 3-0 is 3-0, boys.
Yep, 3-0 is 3-0. I'm willing to give the second half a little bit of grace too. Short week for the Elks. Bombers coming off bye, so they were just jacked up with way more energy. And at some point the legs got to give out a little bit here. And so, but the Elks again, they come out with a win. They forced a lot of turnovers. There were some, and granted, they were some dumb turnovers by the Blue Bombers, but they capitalized on basically every one. So, yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, it's like that was a hell of a game. It truly was.
Yeah.
And I think that you've got to be very happy with this team, top to bottom.
Terrell Ford was like 2 yards away from a touchdown, almost a 100-yard fumble recovery from Brock Mogensen, who they make a great play and lateral it back to Tyrell Ford at like the 40-yard line. And he takes it basically the rest of the way. I thought he was about to break into the end zone, but
it was so close.
It was so close. We were all pretty amped up at the taco shop last night.
We were.
Because, like, oh, fumble. And then they start running it, and we all sort of start turning to the TV, and then we're all jumping and yelling at the TV, go, go. And he just couldn't quite get there. Ended up in a field goal, but
I enjoyed last night. We talked to a lot of clients who were there, and kind of their lay of the land about what they expect of the Oilers and the Elks. Lots of Elks talk last night. I was delighted to hear about that. Lots of it about Rankin, who ran for 106 last night, and is just like absolute money out of the backfield. Didn't I think he only got one catch, 9 yards, but it was a great night for the Elks. And 3-0 after all they've been through. This has got to be the best start in almost a decade.
Best start since 2017.
Almost a decade.
Yep.
There you go. And just a different atmosphere now. The July 9 home game is going to be such a positive. Just really good turnaround. Pretty fabulous stuff.
And their game next week against BC is in Kelowna. They're not going to be in BC Place because of the World Cup.
All right. Okay.
They're playing in Kelowna.
Kelowna's a lovely city.
It is a great city. It sounds like a small stadium, so maybe advantage Elks there.
Like maybe the size of Fort Mac, the stadium they put in there.
I have never been to the stadium in Fort Mac, so
it was they just put it together and then tore it apart. It was like,
well, I can't speak to that,
right?
Because I simply do not know.
Well, you were too busy gaining ownership of the Calgary Flames, so you could have the number 6 overall pick.
Correct. That I was. if I owned the Flames. Actually, no, because there's a salary cap, so there's only so much I can do. If I owned a baseball team,
You would, but
I would burn through my money like hotcakes. Hey. Olin Zellweger has been traded to Buffalo
Oh, wow.
for Anton Wahlberg and the 45th pick. That's per Elliot Friedman.
That's an interesting trade. Man. That's the sound of Josh doing research.
I know. Quick. Oh, yes, of course. The good Calgary boy.
Did he play at all during the
playoffs?
Yeah.
He did. 3 games, 1
Okay.
goal, 1 assist, 2 points. 0 PIMs.
But he's an interesting name to get, right? Like that's an interesting trade.
76 games last season, 7 goals, 15 assists, 34 PIMs. Season previous, 62 games, 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 PIMs. He's a plus player.
Well, he's, they're counting on him being more than he's been, but that's not a bad bet, right?
No, not a bad bet at all.
Good situation for him to get into. I think that's a good trade. So we'll keep you updated on all the deals that go down and all the rumors and the Mets firings and that sort of thing throughout the day. Declan will join us for declinations, and he'll pop in from time to time as well throughout the show to give us his input on various things. I'll try to make him mad enough to crack the mic. And we'll have kind of a look at the weekend here, because for the Oiler fan, you've already expressed it to me, you're kind of bored. You're like, well, when can we have some fun? I have an idea about what we might be looking at, so I'm going to go over that probably at 1:20, because you're at 12:40, right, Declan? Okay, 12:40 declinations, 1:00 it'll be Steve Lansky, 1:20 I'll go over the moves that I think we're going to see Edmonton make in the next week or so, assuming that the Darnell Nurse tumbler clicks, and we're not absolutely certain of when that will happen, but we are delighted, let me tell you, to be right at the cusp of the changes that will happen in light of the Mike Babcock announcement as head coach. It's all straight ahead, including rumors next. Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto.
6 seconds. End zone long touchdown. DJ Luther has it. And the Edmonton Elks are back in front. First and goal from the 5. Edmonton Elks. The toss right to Reagan. Turns it back and works his way into the end zone for the Edmonton touchdown. Just like that for the green and gold. And they take the lead here in Winnipeg. Justin Rankin with his 4th rushing.
Oh, impish skills. Had to be good there, didn't it? Sort of an impossible situation there. Good cross. Chance for the winner for Turkey.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 at 12:22 for Wolf GMC Buick. Friday weekend just around the corner. Beautiful, lovely, rain gone, long distant memory. Sure, we've got the mosquitoes, but it'll be a long time. Being told it won't be long before there's a lot more rain. Sheesh. I mean, June is a rainy month in Edmonton, but it's summer. It's official summer. And we've had some nice days this week. Would love to see really nice weekend. You know, how many do we get a year? Honest to God, like not lying and pretending and, pretending that we're the local tourist bureau. We don't get that many.
No, nice weekends. I think we get a lot. June is very rainy, and it has been for the last few years, I've found, or last year at least, because I do remember the summer of 2024 being very beautiful. Even this year, we had a lovely March. There wasn't a lot of rain not March, May. And all this month has been rainy, basically start to end. And then
Not just rain, it's been pouring.
Yeah. And I have blind faith that July will be better. I know rain is in the forecast.
Everything is good in your life.
Well, I know there's rain in the forecast for everywhere next weekend. But I do genuinely believe that it's going to turn around. Unfortunately, the mosquitoes this year are going to suck.
There's so many.
And the humidity is going to be so bad.
It's really,
and
really
remember,
bad.
It's not the heat that gets you. It is the humidity.
Yeah.
So stay hydrated all summer. Everything should be fine.
My dad used to call it close. He'd say, we'd walk outside wherever we were, and he'd go, it's close out today. Watch yourself. Close.
I think you were telling us about this a while ago.
Well, the good thing about me is you hang around, and you're going to hear that story again and again and again.
Oh, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Rumors are brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. It's riding season, and Harley Davidson of Edmonton has your next bike waiting. Huge selection of new and pre-owned, plus test rides are available. Locally owned and operated since 1990 on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com. Now, that's a thing to be doing right now. Beautiful day on your Harley. Oh, yes. Very nice. Okay. We've got, look, there's going to be so much going on. We're going to miss something. We apologize, but we're trying to get you everything. The Buffalo Sabres have acquired Olin Zellweger, who's a pretty famous player for a second-round draft pick going back to 2021, 34th overall to the Anaheim Ducks. Played 164 NHL games. That's about, 2 years. 51 points on 16 goals. Has some real ability, maybe not unlocked it the way you think he will. But he's on his way now to the Buffalo Sabres for Anton Wahlberg and the number 45 overall pick. Brent Burns and Brett Kulak have been re-signed by the Colorado Avalanche. The Avs are a funny team. They will just junk their entire defense, and they have in previous years. Now, they're not going to do that with Cole Makar, but change is a part of the Colorado Avalanche defense, and it has been forever. So they've added a couple of pieces there. Recently acquired Kulak, who's obviously done really well, and Burns, who's 111 years old. Samuel Ersson has been acquired by the Ottawa Senators. He was Toronto Maple Leafs goalie for approximately 12 minutes. Didn't last long coming over from Philly, and now he's an Ottawa Senator. Jordan Spence, re-signed by Ottawa. That's a really good signing. He's undersized, but he can really carry the mail and make a difference. That's a really, really good move by the Ottawa Senators. The Montreal Canadiens have acquired Brett Berard from the New York Rangers in exchange for William Trudeau, who was drafted a few years ago and has not done a lot since. Tony DeAngelo has a 2-year extension with the New York Islanders. And there's lots of rumors about Mason McTavish. Nothing, yet, but I think as we go into today and then into tonight with the draft, we should be, some of these cats will be dealt. Let's be honest here. I'm usually the guy bitching and moaning about, they always say it's going to be a lot of activity, and then there's been a lot of activity. There's been a lot of activity. And so leading up to this draft, some big trades. And I think we'll get more as teams begin to, let's be honest. A lot of this is driven by general managers who finally have some walking around money. Like Ken Holland. I mean, his britches must be on fire, wanting to spend, $5.5 million on every 37-year-old defenseman who can skate.
Can you think for a better use of money, however, though?
Oh, yes.
But they're smarter than everybody else. They've seen things, Al. They've been around the block a time or two.
Ken Holland got the Otis to Game 7 Stanley Cup final. Nobody else did.
He did? Oh, my God.
I've always wondered what would happen if they'd won that game. Would Holland just have re-signed?
That is a terrifyingly interesting thought experiment.
I remember when Holland was hired by Edmonton, I went, well, I better go look at his, history of, trades and free agents in, draft. And I was astounded how few trades he made. He just didn't make very many trades. It was almost all free agent signings. And he continued that trend here. And, he made even some trades that did not work out at all, and free agent signings that didn't work out either. But he did get them to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final.
He had the Corey Perry signing, though. That worked out great.
Yeah, well, Zach Hyman. He did some good free agent signings.
Vander Kane.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Yeah. Generally speaking, people do not view Ken Holland in his 5 years here as a success. The team went to the Stanley Cup final in his final year here, and the year after, and that team was a Holland Coda team. It was. They got to the final again. So, is he the second most successful general manager in Oilers history, or behind Len Sather, who would be first on every list? Or do you think that Kevin Lowe was better, or I'm going to say Peter Chiarelli, but
Come on.
I know.
You signed Darnell Nurse to 9.25.
Yeah,
or was that
right.
Ken Holland?
Oh, Ken Holland did it.
Oh, well,
that's my point. Is that Holland has an unusual kind of a resume. I think you have to give him credit for the Stanley Cup final. That's the goal, right? But then he also did some things that really kept them from more Stanley Cup finals and probably victories.
5 years. You probably have to say so, right?
I think you do.
They started going back to the playoffs, and then they were in the finals, and they were in the West Finals twice.
Yeah.
In those 5.
Yeah. I totally disagreed with a lot that he did early on with Archie Henderson as his pro scout director. But when Brad Holland came in, they did pretty well. I can't say, well, Brad Holland did all this, but, and the Zach Hyman signing was just pure gold. Gold.
Too bad it's the worst contract in the NHL.
Oh, who said that again?
That's someone from Toronto.
God, that was funny.
Was it Sid Cicero?
Cicero?
Yeah, that one.
It was Editor in Leaf.
Oh, all right. Just a random Twitter account.
No.
I wouldn't put it past Sid, though.
Thank God we're not those bloggers and we're very accurate about these things.
Exactly.
Holland was fine. He got hurt due to COVID, but he's better than anyone else before and after. I don't know, man. I would say Glenn Sather was the best.
Tough to disagree. Bless you. For those of you that couldn't hear. I don't know how you couldn't, but just
is he okay?
No,
Like,
he's not
a
okay.
stubborn mule.
Yeah, I think that's a generous way of putting it.
And like I've had this illness and it's not good.
Yeah. I'm hoping I stay healthy through this summer. Things are already looking up. Last year I had like bronchitis or meningitis or something because I was sick for like a month and a half.
Well, but I
was also malnourished.
You're basking in the glow right now of
well, I take my vitamin D every day.
Newfound relation. I've been through that recently, and it's like nothing can bother you. You know,
this is true. But I also take vitamin D every day, and I think that helps a lot because we don't get enough vitamin D.
Karen's on me with vitamin C, man. I'm telling you, they're horse pills, and I take 3 of them.
I also take iron just like to help. Like with fatigue and things,
right?
Those pills are huge. God. They're ginormous. My sister took iron, like was medically prescribed to take iron.
Yeah,
because she was no, not bulimic. That is the wrong one. The one where you don't anemic. That's the word.
We are just throwing around medical terms.
My apologies.
We shouldn't be doing.
And she opened up one of these pills and poured it into a glass of water, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Because it does literally just look like iron shavings. Anyways, that's my story.
You say most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life, and yet I've had unsweetened Metamucil in a glass.
Ooh.
So I think.
I didn't have to see that, though.
I think I know what I'm talking about. All right. So boys, hands down, Holland was the second best GM from Hacksaw. I think that's right. 06 Kevin Lowe, only GM in recent history to actually go all in. Oh, he did a great job at that deadline. Rollinson, Spacek, Samsonov, Pekka, and Pronger were in the summertime, but he did a splendid job. I think that the best trade deadline an Oilers GM has ever had was 06 spring. At that deadline, from Rollinson to whoever the last guy was. Lowe doesn't get enough love for being a GM. Tarnstrom, Pekka, Spacek, Rollinson, Pronger, arguably the most successful season of trades in NHL history. Death Valley Jeff. I mean, he made some great moves. I remember when Pronger got signed. Jason had the old show, like a late night show, and it arrived, like the news arrived, and he stayed on for, I'm going to say, a couple of extra hours, and I was listening. It might have been when the U.S. Open was on, because I remember thinking, oh my God, I got U.S. Open on, and Pronger's been traded, and Gregor's on talking about it. It could be better. Meanwhile, my family's like, could you turn it down? It's 2 a.m.
Go to bed. I don't think I've ever had that in my life.
What?
Someone telling me to just go to bed, but I'm like reveling in so many good things happening at one time. I'm like, oh, US Open and trades and signings. Oh my God.
I'll tell you, I'm a little secret about me. I love sleep so much. Nobody has to tell me to go to bed.
People have to tell me to go to bed constantly.
Do they?
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, most of the times people tell me to go to bed, it's when you've had a few too many wobbly pops.
Right. I don't do that anymore. I used to. So I know what you're talking about.
And you just sit there on the couch like comatose, just staring into the void. You're like, Josh, go to bed. You're like, all right. Just a little about
Do you
me.
think you could try to get Declan to go to bed? We should have a cot here, like bunk beds.
You know, not a terrible idea. I remember when I started, they would talk about AJ from CFCW occasionally, like with timings of shows and everything. At times he would sleep overnight on the couch out in the main area.
Right.
just because like, oh, he had to be here early in the morning. So instead, he just sleep on the couch rather than go home and try to wake himself.
It's not
up.
a ridiculous idea.
I have thought about it a time or two. I cannot tell a lie.
I've slept back before there were some renovations and what is now the writer's pit back there, back when it was the sales area with a couch in the middle. I slept on that couch. I don't remember why or the context, but I did it.
It was probably a nap, midday nap.
Probably ill and wouldn't go home.
That might be it.
Could be a highly debated issue. What was the greatest offseason in Oilers history? Well, the one where they drafted Lowe, Messier, and Anderson was pretty good. Wasn't Mike Babcock the coach of the Leafs after Jack Campbell was goalie? Maybe he can bring back Tristan Jarry back to above league average from Sailor. I think Tristan Jarry wasn't healthy. And I'm not saying he's going to be the be-all and end-all, but I think he's going to be a most competent goalie and maybe more. I'll say this and then they'll trade his ass. But I'm glad that Stan Bowman has the courage of his convictions right now.
I think.
Sorry.
So no. It's your show. You can say what you need to say.
Well, did you have something you wanted to say?
So when Jari got traded here, I forget what he played, 6 games or something like that before he went out with that hamstring injury or groin injury.
Right.
He was really good. I think he was like 4-1-1, something like that. His save percentage was really solid, and he seemed to have some really good plays. I think that's when he had the butterfly, rolling over save. Can't remember what it was called. And then hurts his groin, and he goes out and he comes back and he's injured. Now, granted, I was just as hard on Tristan Jarry as anybody because you got to play better. But hopefully, after a longer off season, that groin comes back and it's feeling 100%, and you see more of the guy that you saw right after his acquisition. And it wasn't just like the defense played really hard in front of him because it's a new goalie. We got to show what's what, which is also definitely a thing.
I just think, and of all the injuries for a goalie, groin, it's like if Mick Jagger pulled a groin. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
He doesn't know many chair songs. And I think for Jarry, it changed. He probably wasn't ever truly comfortable. And so, you get him healthy, you bring him back in the fall, and then you see what you have. And fans have been unkind to Tristan Jarry. But if he plays well in the fall, there'll be, people will go, okay, this is our guy now. They'll get behind him. The Oilers fans more than anything want to win. They don't care who the goalie is. Well, if they win, they don't care who the goalie is. If they don't win, then it does become an issue. All right.
That's very apt.
Our very good friend and colleague and cohort, Declan Krueger, is a little under the weather. We have not been able to convince him to go home. So now we're going to put him to work with Declinations coming up next. What can we look forward to on Declinations today, sir?
Yeah, in honor of Kevin's retirement, Josh and I are going to be giving our top 5 retirement performances in sports.
Okay. All right. You probably don't remember Mike Schmitz, but I'll remind you. And I think Secretariat had the best retirement.
But that one's a little, because those horses are only allowed to race for 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's a little,
What do they do after that?
Breed.
Okay. Top 5 retirements coming up. Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. Fun and friendly with morning rates Monday to Thursday. Just $65 for 18 holes with cart. $55 for seniors. Includes a $5 food voucher for dining at Cattail's Out of Bounds restaurant. There's early bird golf Saturday and Sunday. $50 for 9 holes with cart and snack voucher. 9 and dine Fridays after 4. $130 per pair for 9 holes, cart, and a $40 Out of Bounds gift card. Plus, Glow Golf every second Friday and bring your dog golfing on Mondays. Visit cattailcrossing.ca.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors: strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Nissan's through once again. They've done it 12 years straight. Nissan ropes a 2026 Best Buy winner from Consumer Guide Automotive for 12 years in a row. The Score with Nissan event is on, and qualifying Nissan owners can score by leasing a 2026 Rogue S for the equivalent of $99 weekly at 0% for 36 months with $0 down. Visit Nissan.ca for details. $430 monthly. Includes $1,100 Nissan bonus and 0.4% loyalty rate reduction. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
High sticking to breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$12:41, Lowdown with Lowetide for Wolf GMC Buick. It's nice. I imagine everybody's hitting the links this weekend who loves to golf at least once, maybe twice. Really get out there. I heard that the mosquitoes are not responding to the usual normal sprays. So if you got a can from last year and it's not working, maybe get a new can. Because you don't want to get bit by 600 mosquitoes. I've done that. It's the worst. It's just scratching and itchy for days and days and days. It is time for Declinations, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Next home game Thursday, July 9. Come see the most explosive player in the CFL, Justin Rankin. You saw him last night. Lock in your tickets to goelks.com/tickets. And ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger.
Okay, our top 5 retirements or retirement moments in sports. My number 5, George St. Pierre, Canadian MMA reference. He takes 4 years off after a battle with Johnny Hendricks, comes back, goes up a weight class, wins the middleweight title against Michael Bisping after 4 years on the couch, and retires. 26-2 career record, I think it was, and just rides off into the sunset, retired from the game before the game retired him.
Good one.
Did it his way.
Yes. Canadian
in a sport
icon.
that doesn't always let you do it your way.
Yeah.
My first one, sort of a cop-out, but Michael Jordan in 1998.
I thought about it.
This is a guy who famously retired 3 times, so he cannot be any higher on the list. However, this is like this is what you want in sports. Talk about retiring on top. 3-peats again, 6 for 6 in the finals, 45 points. I believe he played 45 minutes in that game as well, and hits the game-winning shot, gets the game-winning steal. It just the ultimate like send-off that he ruined by coming back to the Washington Wizards. However, Michael Jordan in 1998, I think that's something that all professional athletes dream about is going out on top.
Well, I thought you were going to say when he retired from baseball.
No. Retiring from the Bulls in 1998.
Okay, my number 4, Derek Jeter, Mr. Yankee, the walk-off single. I think it was in Yankee Stadium, right?
Correct.
Age 40, and it was so good. He got a standing ovation from the Red Sox fans.
You know he wasn't perfect, right?
Yeah, listen, I'm not the biggest baseball guy in the world, but I know he was Mr. Yankee, and I know he had the walk-off single in the final game of his career at age 40, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it comes into my number 4.
No, he'd be great player, no doubt about it.
All right, so my number 4, Nolan Ryan had to retire due to injury. I'm correct on this, right? From what I remember, I believe it's Nolan Ryan.
No, I don't think Nolan Ryan ever had a major injury, but maybe I'm wrong.
I believe in his last game of his career, Nolan Ryan tore his UCL in his arm.
Okay, you
I
may well
do
be right.
believe
I'm
this
not
is
gonna,
correct. This might be a
Okay.
different pitcher but I do remember. I remember seeing this all the time. And when I was making this list, I was like, man, what am I going to put in here? And I remembered this. Nolan Ryan tears his UCL, throws one more pitch, and I think he clocks out at like 98 miles an hour or something like that.
September 22nd, 1993. You were right, sir.
Thank you very much. All right. Throws a pitch, tears his UCL, and manager comes out and says, are you okay? He's like, let me try one more. Throws a ball, maxes out at 98, 99 miles per hour. Then he goes, I'm done. And has to walk off the mound.
What a great player. Honest to God, just an absolute. I remember him like when he was pitching for the Angels and he was throwing like 350 innings.
Yeah. Him and Miz right now are the only two guys to have done, 29 innings pitched, whatever, in their 4 starts, 15 strikeouts, less than 10
Good
hits.
call by you, sir. I did not recall that, but that's a great one.
Thank you. I figured it was him, but I also wouldn't have been surprised if you were like, oh, it was Greg Maddux or whatever, and I just had my names mixed up. But yes, Nolan Ryan, one of the best, if not the best pitcher to ever do it.
Well done.
My number 3, Rocky Marciano. He was a heavyweight champion. He retired at 49-0, 43 knockouts. Still has one of the highest knockout to win percentage ratios in heavyweight boxing history. Retired at 32 years of age at 49-0. He beat Archie Moore in his last fight. He had beaten Ezzard Charles twice. He had beaten Jersey Joe Walcott twice. He had beat Joe Louis when he was young, and it was Joe at the end of Joe Louis's career. But again, to retire at that age, which is pretty young with the resume he had defended the heavyweight title, the world heavyweight title, like 6 times at that point, I think 5 or 6 times. One of kind of the forgotten heavyweights also in history, but he went out. He retired from a sport at 32 in a sport that generally retires you, and he did it undefeated. So he is my number 3.
Yeah, and also the era that he fought in was a tough era.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm like, I don't want to bury the lead that his last fight was against Archie Moore. Like that's impressive. Now older, but still.
They just beat the tar. I think did they go 15 rounds then?
Yep.
Yeah. 15 rounds. Jeez. That's brutal.
Nothing like it.
Oh.
Nothing like it. My number 3, John Elway. Talk about another finishing on top. Finishes his career with back-to-back Super Bowls, and his last one wins Super Bowl MVP, 336 yards, 1 touchdown. He also made a promise that, yes, they would win another Super Bowl, and that's what he did. And showed up and he showed out. Again, only 1 touchdown, but they won.
He's the guy that I often think of when I think of Connor McDavid and his frustrations winning a championship.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And he had 3 failed attempts of winning the Super Bowl, lost in the Super Bowl 3 times, and then won back-to-back.
To end his career.
Yeah.
To end his career. And
they were not a great. They got blown out at least one of those Super Bowls.
Oh yeah.
Likely.
Yeah.
And it's just like it was so nice, had to do it twice, and then he was done. He threw the ball hard though.
I tell you, he ended Kozar's life that day when they won against Cleveland in the AFC final.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, Kozar couldn't play any better.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about John Elway.
That's all right. You are more cultured than I am in this list.
That would have been an obvious choice. Should have had it. My number 2 though was Kobe Bryant's 60-point games. I actually did a debate with my friends about this a little recently. They were talking about the impressiveness of it. Listen, he had 60 points on one ankle. I know he shot the ball 1,000 times, but
50 times.
Yeah, still like it's 60 points in your final game at Staples with everyone who was there. Like what a send off. That's my number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 is the Derek Jeter farewell. So do just have to clarify a little bit. He got the walk-off single RBI in his last game at Yankee Stadium, which is very much attributed to his, like, oh, that was the final game of his career. But then, yes, he ended his career by getting a single in a single RBI in his last at-bat in Fenway, where he played his last game on September 28th, 2012 or whatever it was, and got the standing ovation from the Red Sox. However, the walk-off RBI for his retirement game in Yankee Stadium, that is legendary. When you spend 20 years with one franchise and you win as much as Derek Jeter won, and not the best defenseman in the world. I know he has 7 Gold Gloves or whatever it is, but let's be honest. Watch the tape. Not amazing. But Derek Jeter is just so synonymous with Yankees baseball. He's right there with Ruth. I can't have him anywhere else on this list because number 1 is the most iconic.
Well done.
It's
Good
interesting. I hope we have the same number 1. Mine is Lou Gehrig with his "I am the luckiest man on the face of the earth" speech. Pretty iconic. I don't think much more needs to be said.
Yeah, it was like it great theater, although it was, much harsher and harder and crueler than that. But like the grace that he had in that situation, I think we all hope we are like that, but he was.
Yeah. One of the best to ever do it, and sadly passed away 2 years after that, I believe.
Yeah. The word is that on that day, Babe Ruth was in the dugout telling people that he was not well. So pretty wild. Anyway.
Yeah, and awful. However, one of the funniest things on Twitter is when people are playing bad, they're getting paid a lot of money. They will compare that person's statistics to Lou Gehrig playing with ALS. And I think he's still batted in the 200s or something. They're like playing with a debilitating disease, and he was playing better baseball than this guy. So that's always funny. I did not have Lou Gehrig in here because what my understanding of, like, when Declan texted this to me was like best performances in a retirement game. I'd have no idea what Lou Gehrig did in that game. And it is undoubtedly the number 1 retirement moment in sports. However, my number 1 is the best retirement game performance ever, and it is Kobe Bean Bryant, 60 points. Again, gets up 50 shot. Like that is the culmination of Kobe Bryant's career. They just kept getting him the ball at the end of the game. They were just like, no, we're going to give Kobe the ball. We're going to give Kobe the ball. And unfortunately, he's passed away now for 6 years,
which is incredible.
Yeah. And a sad part about it, he finishes his career at the free throw line, and you can hear on his last free throw, his daughter, who passed away with him in the helicopter crash, yell, "Go Dad," as he laces it. And so that, like, it doesn't get any better than that. Jack Nicholson, one of his last times sitting courtside, going absolutely ballistic watching this go on. Like, I bet those are the most expensive Lakers tickets that will ever be sold ever.
Yeah.
So yes, there's my list.
Love it. Very well done.
You did great, Deck.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? Baseball question?
Yep.
Who is the better player between Jeter and A-Rod?
Oh God. Okay. Well,
I would say A-Rod.
yeah, but it's not like
It's slightly different.
I think Jeter was a better, like, I don't know what his war on defense was, but I think it would be better than A-Rod's. A-Rod was a better hitter, but they were both terrific players.
They were really good. Obviously, like, I think Jeter just in and of himself is more iconic because he does have that moment at Yankee Stadium. He's not as hated as Alex Rodriguez.
No.
Basically,
but also,
everybody hates A-Rod.
Well, because he would, like, anyway, it doesn't matter. They're long gone.
He was a dink. But
I have a Lou Gehrig stat that will blow your mind.
Yes,
you guys
please.
ready for this?
Yes.
All right. In 1930, I always love saying this exactly this way. In 1931, Lou Gehrig had 117 RBIs on the road. On the road. That doesn't include what he did at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
That's just on the road.
Just done. So We didn't talk about this yesterday. I wish we did, but the Shohei Ohtani Dalton Rushing thing when he was pitching. Do you know the difference in ERA for when Will Smith catches for Shohei Ohtani versus when Dalton Rushing? So when Will Smith is catching for Shohei Ohtani, his ERA is 0.76. When Dalton Rushing is catching for him, it's 4.36. That is so bad. Like, I totally understand why Shohei gets so frustrated with Dalton Rushing as his catcher now, because his stats just balloon. Program 4 before you say anything, Deck.
How can it be so different?
Well, framing
it's
the pitch,
just like the
calling
calls of the pitches.
Yeah, and also like just there's catchers make a big difference. They do, and there's a comfort zone. Throw to the maybe he likes it. Maybe he sets up his glove in a certain way, and veterans usually are preferred. Steve Carlton kept Tim McCarver in baseball for a long time because he insisted on McCarver being his catcher.
Plot of For the Love of the Game.
Yeah. So, there's that. I really enjoy these. I like when you guys do the historic stuff. It's really cool because you see the world through a different lens. I've witnessed some of this stuff, but I don't know how you value it. So it's fun to hear how you guys suss it out and even the Jeter A-Rod thing. I always preferred Jeter, and I would side with him. But if I'm being asked the question, A-Rod's bat accounted for the difference and more.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he really was, and he was consistent. He just was. All right, so that was fun. Steve Lansky on the way. We're going to talk about the things the Edmonton Oilers need to do in the next week and solutions for those things at 1:20. And we'll have a lot of fun. And we're going to try to convince Declan to go home. We will be unsuccessful, but we will try. Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Elks Nation. For the best Elks coverage year-round with podcasts and articles, go to elksnation.ca. Player interviews, game analysis, and more. The best green and gold coverage online, elksnation.ca. Olen Zellweger has been traded to the Buffalo Sabres for the 45th pick, and Anton Wahlberg. Other news in the NHL world, Jordan Spence signing a 4-year, $20 million deal with the Sens, and Brett Kulak, a 5-year, $22.5 million extension with the Avs. Brent Burns also staying with the Avs on a 1-year, $850,000 deal. World Cup will get going right away here, but with Norway and France and Senegal and Iraq, Cabo Verde and Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, Spain at 6, and Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand, Belgium at 9. MLB action will get going at 4:40 with the Reds and the Pirates. The Blue Jays will play host to the Rangers at 5:07. It will be Corbin on the mound in that one. In the late game today in the league, we'll see the Braves and the Giants at 8:15. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Looking for a truck that can handle anything Alberta throws your way? Wolf GMC Buick has the offers to get you behind the wheel. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 models. Plus, trade in an eligible 2015 or newer pickup and receive a $1,000 truck trade-in bonus on select Sierra models. Ask about bonus offers for heroes, students, recent graduates, and more. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Jaffa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience, All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors: strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Who went where? How much did they get? And who isn't going anywhere? Get every up-to-the-second update on free Agent Day coverage with Lowetide. July 1st from 10 till 1 here on Sports 1440, powered by Booster Juice, because we're gonna need it.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. Wolf GMC.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Ask about bonus offers for heroes, students, recent graduates, and more. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. All right, we're into hour number 2 of the radio show, waiting for trades, firings. The Mets fired a guy, their manager, which was a big deal, but it's the Mets. They're always a mess, so it's not like a huge deal. It's just the Metsing. And Brett Kulak signing in Colorado, among others, as we get towards July 1st. And free agency, of course, round 1 of the NHL draft goes tonight. And we are looking forward to talking to our next guest. Our headliner of the day is Steve Lansky from Inside the Truck podcast. Cash Flow Crunch got your business on the sidelines, schedules your free consultation with Faber's licensed insolvency trustees, and get back in the game. Visit Faber.ca. I know you're in a beautiful place. I know you're overlooking the water. Where exactly are you, Steve Lansky?
I am at the Prince of Wales Hotel in Waterton, sitting outside in the car where I hope the signal is strong enough.
It's beautiful. You sound... Okay. Are you telling me that Mrs. Lansky is in the car waiting for you to stop blathering so you can check in?
No, she is inside enjoying her decaf Earl Grey tea and charcuterie board with Tuscan tomato soup.
She's smarter than you and I put together.
Yes, she is.
I guess maybe we didn't have to say that out loud. It was already known.
No, it was a given. It was a given.
All right. So, are you enjoying the World Cup?
Yeah, I've watched a little. We've been traveling the last 4 days. I am. I don't get totally into it. I know if we were still living in Toronto, it would be insane. Although Italy's not in, so it would be less insane. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good month full of drama.
Do you like, if I were to ask you to, because it's every 4 years, it's like the Olympics, but I know you love the Olympics like to your soul, right? So it's different for you with the Olympics.
Yeah, it's totally different. I mean, I'm not a huge soccer fan anyway, But to me, the Olympics is just everything. It's pageantry, it's spectacle. Not that the World Cup's not, but there's another kind of layer of drama that I don't love in the World Cup. Every player looks like they've been shot from the second deck when they go down. I that gets a little old. But I mean, I understand why people are into it. I'm just not quite into it as much as I would be the Olympic Games.
I got you. I understand. So let's talk about the NHL draft. I always ask you questions about producing a television show like that. The format has morphed a little bit where now it used to be there were tables and everybody was, hanging around, and now there's war rooms and stuff like that. And it's just a little different feel to it. But I find that long form interviews on a day like today, whether it be a young man just drafted or an NHL general manager, the GM isn't going to say very much. And the kid's so excited to have his new, jersey and his new team to be a part of that. I mean, you can't really drill down on these. It's just how happy is your mom and dad, right?
Yeah, it's strange, and I don't know what the solution is, because you're right. Like, sometimes, I mean, you've done enough interviews. You sit down and you think, okay, I'm really going to be able to get something out of this interview. And then there's other times, probably mostly with me, where you think this is just going to be top level crap. We're not going to learn anything. Nothing new is going to come out of this. And those interviews don't do much for me. Like, great, he's a young, fresh-faced kid. He's got nothing to say. He's got nothing to add. The GM's giving you nothing. If it was me and somebody said, here, it's yours, I would take it right down to the nuts and bolts and say, okay, how can we make this so it's at least semi-engaging rather than just a bunch of children being excited about the next stage of their life? Because really, that's what it is. And it may or may not affect your team. I mean, the success in the draft, I'd have to do the analytics on it, but I don't think it's that high, personally.
Yeah. It's like in the NFL draft, there's a 310-pound guy. He comes out and he tries to lift up the commissioner and slam him down and hurt his back. That, to me, is theater.
Yeah. Oh, am I going to say this? Yeah, I am. I don't think anybody's going to hurt their back lifting Gary. And they might hurt Gary's back, but I'm thinking with one little finger, maybe. Zdeno Chara, certainly, he could have done a little flip, you flip a pancake.
Yeah,
he probably could have flipped Gary like a pancake. But there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to make it. But maybe they all choose at the same time, and it's a mass rush to the stage, and whoever gets the guy first, puts him in a bear hug or gets him in, that's the team that gets him. Think about that now. I've heard worse.
Me too. Actually, at least that there's some suspense to it.
Oh.
Speaking of suspense or lack thereof, I've watched a lot of teams with bad bullpens, and the manager always gets fired. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but the Jays are, as a group, they're not choosing the right guy to bring in, Steve.
No argument from me. Do they have the right guy to choose? Maybe, maybe not. The problem is, the difference between a really good team and a really bad team is probably 10 wins. Well, probably a bunch of those wins come right out of your bullpen. So if you don't get those, I'm sure you've done it in hockey. 1-run games, 1-goal games. Good teams have a 500 record or above. Bad teams have 500 or below. That's it. It's just close games. Who can pull out the close game? That's why you need the bullpen. I don't love John Schneider with pitchers anyway. I really don't. I don't see it. I don't see the appeal. I don't understand it at all. But they haven't had a really good bullpen, and I would consider a very long time.
Yeah. Are you catching the CFL? We've had some great games. Had another one last night. Elks have been involved in some really good ones. Are you catching it? I know you're, it's the summer of Steve, so it's, road trip. But have you watched a lot of CFL?
Well, I watched BC at, help me out, Hamilton, because my podcast partner, Paul Hemming, is back directing CFL football this summer. So I watched that game, which was insane. And I said to him, Paul, Do you realize that game, I think it was the second play of the game when Mitchell threw the long pass, you could correct me. I said, it felt like the snowball started down the hill. And then as a director, were you just like running to stay ahead of the snowball? He said, that's exactly what we did for 3 hours. That's exactly what it felt like. I said, well, that's what it looked like too. See, he's doing the game in Regina tonight too. We won't be home to watch that, but I'll watch that on the DVR. There's a lot. I got a lot of balls in the air, dude. So I watch as much as I can, but I really have to pick and choose.
I waited till we talked all about how's the summer of Steve going? Are you irritating Mrs. Big Mouth to the point where you sometimes have to take a walk?
Oh yeah, that was also the winter and the spring of Steve, irritating Mrs. Big Mouth. I'll be honest with you, I could do with a little more heat. I'm not going to lie. Although in Waterton, the last 3 days, we sat by the lake in our chairs with books and read for like 3 hours each day. Like, that was pretty nice. Today it's kind of rainy here. I could do with a little more warmth. We're up in Bonnyville next week because the road show never changes. We're always, you're never home. So I hope it's warm in Bonnyville next week. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you're getting a little grumpy because the lack of heat?
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah.
I understand that. I don't want any more, numbers mean nothing to me. So when they say 100 millimeters of rain Saturday, I think, it's going to rain a little. And then it pours down and I'm building an ark in the basement. Holy mackerel, it rained a lot.
Oh, I feel terrible because now I realize I'm talking to you and where you are and how much rain you guys have. I should have been a little more sensitive there before I brought that up. Is it that bad as everybody says it is in Edmonton?
Well, it's really green now and there's a lot of mosquitoes, but there's more rain coming, maybe even when you come up.
Oh, it's not funny after a while. After a while, it's not funny.
No, I know. Although I'll kind of chuckle if it happens to you. Said that out loud.
I bet you
would. Mike Babcock was announced this week as theater. It was fantastic. As a insight into an individual, I felt it was rather stark because I thought they held the media avail to calm the nerves of fans who were worried about Mike Babcock, coaching the team and what he would bring to the team. And I think he just confirmed that you're going to get what you're going to get, and it's going to be Mike Babcock. But maybe the Oilers are okay with that.
Maybe. It sounds like they might be. But so I didn't see the video, but I read a kind of a blow-by-blow account in The Athletic. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, is this being made up? And of course, it's not being made up. And I'm like, these are the strangest answers, like, wouldn't address this, wouldn't address that, took this answer and made it into this. And I'm like, dude, wouldn't this be a time to kind of, I don't know, show a different side or whatever? But like you said, maybe not. Maybe that's the side we're getting. And it sounds like all this accountability is now going to be heaped on 97 and 29, which I've been fine with forever. But it just seems
Steve, I thought he'd say, sometimes in the moment you go through it and you don't think about the repercussions or what may mean. But in reading accounts from my past players, I feel as though I absolutely have to be more aware, and we've got guardrails, and I'm going to check myself. And if there's any issue that comes up, I'm going to address it right away, and I'm not going to let it fester. But that's not what they got. They got a guy who feels as though everything's fine. I'm fine. We just continue with what's happened before, and greatness will come.
That part was weird. Now, I worked with Keenan, and Mike Keenan would be the same way. He wouldn't change anything, but at the presser, he'd make it sound like a lot of things were going to change, and then the presser would end, and he'd walk out of the room and say, "I'm not changing a damn thing." But he didn't even do that. It was like, we're not going to pretend it's going to be. So who knows, Al? Maybe it'll be the greatest thing in the world. I really hope it is, but I don't have a ton of that hope. The basket of hope is not full.
Yeah, Like the Oilers have the greatest PR people. They just do. They are just like nails at this stuff. And I gotta say that I don't know whether they did any prep, conferences or whatever, but whatever happened, I don't think that was according to Hoyle.
I would love to be. It's too bad, you talk about the draft or whatever. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to have a camera in the hiring meetings. Nobody knows the camera's there. I just want to hear these discussions and see these discussions. Like what gets said to the Oilers, what the Oilers say to Babcock, what goes back and forth, and they go, yeah, he's the right choice. Like, were you looking at the same things I was looking at when he was talking? Or maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're just at the point where the guy's in the Triple Gold Club. How bad can it be? Let's throw a dart at that board because we missed every other board we've tried for the last 9 coaches or whatever since Mac T. So we'll just take another shot at a dart at a different board.
I know. Did you ever watch Veep? When I think it was Josh was behind the glass in a different room, and they were doing like a study on whether or not they liked him in his little commercial that he made, and then he stormed out of the room and started yelling and scaring people. I would very much like to see a video like that about any NHL coaching discussion where real people say real things in real time, because the hockey world, I mean, first of all, they can't say a complete sentence with using the F word as a, noun, verb,
right?
Adjective, adverb, whatever you need, they've got it. And it's all that.
It's a funny group. I mean, I did a little research last week on NHL coaching hires based on something that Jeff Howe did in The Athletic for NFL coaching hires. And fully half of every coach hired in the NHL since 2000 has been 0 on the success table. Think about that. We had long meetings discussing all this, and half of every guy we hired was a complete failure. That's unbelievable to me.
I'm so sorry you did that research. I thought it was going to take you a couple of weeks, or I would have led with that.
Oh, no, it's okay, because it's better that you didn't, because I don't have it in front of me. I thought it was going to take me a couple of weeks, too, and then I went down the rabbit hole, and my wife's like, am I just bringing you food? And I'm like, yeah, just bring me food. So she just was bringing me food, and the internet makes it a lot easier now, and I'm just going along, and I'm like, 230 coaches, that's how many have been hired since 2000, and I thought, well, I'm just going to start to get right into it. So it's pretty cool. We can talk about it next week if you want, but it's fascinating to me that half of them were completely unsuccessful. Like maximum 6 points, they got 0 points.
Wow, that's incredible. All right. Enjoy Waterton is so beautiful. I'm sure it's gorgeous there. Enjoy what's left. I hope there's not much. And of the table, what's on the charcuterie table?
Oh my God! It was I can post a picture afterward. It was the biggest charcuterie board I've ever seen. We didn't get through it, and I had to come out here and talk to you. And I said, "Eat whatever you want." I know there's still going to be a ton left. We're just going to sit there and look at the lake for the next 2 hours, and then go to Fort McLeod and meet a buddy at the Homestead Diner for a butterhorn and a coffee. Like, it's the day from hell, dude.
You are so hard done by, just, I mean, I just hope we could, if you like, stamp your foot 3 or 4 times if you need help, because we'll come running.
No help required.
I'll send Declan on a bike. All right. Enjoy Waterton. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thanks, Al. Take care.
There you go. Steve Lansky in Waterton, Inside the Truck podcast. Lots talked about there. Doesn't follow Declan on Twitter. I just love these old goats who just won't follow you. Like, Carius never followed you, not one time. I shamed Carius into doing it.
I've brought it up to Spec as well.
I was there when he brought it up to Spec. It was the funniest thing of all time.
What did he say? Yeah?
He was like, all right, see ya.
We're sitting there. So Gregor had to leave. So Connor filled in for him. And then Connor had to go do a watch party. So Declan had to host the last half hour or the last hour of the Gregor show, basically. And I ended up doing digital producing and producing for him. And he's doing the interview with Spec. He goes, hey, oh, and by the way, Spec, on your way out, like, just remember to give me a follow on Twitter, big man. And Speck does his regular. All right, then. And then just fully big dogged him.
Oh, man. The Jays have solved their bullpen problems. They've designated Simeon Woods Richardson for assignment.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they would keep him up.
He's DFA'd, as the kids say.
Yeah. Well,
We got Corbin going tonight.
yeah.
Starting pitching, man. It's every year. People are, yeah, we got like 6 arms. And then by the All-Star break, we got 2 arms. It's just nuts.
Yeah, but that's just baseball, Like that's just the way it is. By the way, there was a trade while you were on with Steve. It wasn't a big one, but the Hawks have made a deal with the Senators. Senators sent Andrei Burakovsky to the Hawks. Nope. Ottawa gets Andrei Burakovsky, and Chicago receives a 6th round pick in 2027 from the Sens.
So that's basically take the money.
Mm-hmm.
There is a world where Darnell Nurse doesn't get traded and the Oilers don't have any money.
This is, in fact, an entire possibility. Run it back.
One of the things that makes me think that might be partially true is there are reports, I believe it's Matty, that they're negotiating with Connor Ingram, who would not cost a lot. So if you're not aiming for a high-end guy, Ingram probably is the best guy to bring back.
Yes,
so
likely.
And you could probably bring him back for less than 2, and maybe you're just filling out now with your big moves for Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson.
Yes. I, as an empathetic person, fear very much.
Are you an empathetic person?
Maybe not like outwardly on the show, but I do believe I'm not a psychopath, so I do possess the ability to
Are you
empathize.
not a psychopath?
The last I checked, yeah.
No, you're not a psychopath.
I haven't taken any tests to prove that.
You do not have to take a test.
However,
I will sign off on that.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. I would be very scared for Connor Ingram, who we know what's going on with him for the last 2 years and his struggles with mental health, and now going to play for a guy like Mike Babcock. I would be ever so slightly afraid of his well-being through the entirety of the season.
Well, I'm sure the Oilers will have discussions with every potential free agent they hire. They would have to know the lay of the land going in. But you're right to bring it up. It's a thing. So it is part of the lexicon of the situation in Edmonton. So it's worth discussing and talking about. I thought he was the better goalie, guys.
I fully agree with you. Again, as mentioned earlier in the show, however, Tristan Jarry was definitely hurt.
Yeah.
So,
and he's the guy making the big money, and he's the guy that the GM is taking a chance on. A big chance on.
Yeah. So when the season progresses, what's that you're always saying? Small sample size.
Yeah.
So once the season really gets going, I think we'll have a better, more fresh understanding by Christmas time.
Dealey Stan says toasted butterhorn at the Carousel Restaurant, Jasper 103 Street in the 70s. Golden. Remember the Top Hat restaurant? Downtown? Bistro Praha is still there. Legendary place. They used to have JB's Big Boy at Edmonton Center. Good burger. The JB Big Boy, that's a good burger there.
I'll take your word for it.
Real good. No.
I've never heard of such things.
We are late for a break. Is that correct?
You would be correct on that. It's like 1:24 right now.
Okay. Well, we definitely need to take a break, and we will. Your comments about what Steve said and about what is going on in the world of sports was basically everything straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Mr. Reuter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one will ever know. You've done well, Mr. Reuter. You did something awful, but you've covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of electrician school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Reuter.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
To the person who muted the work chat before their boss sent out the "Have a great long weekend" message, hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. Your secret's safe with us. Let's kick the weekend into high gear with fresh quality burgers, kebabs, sausages, and steaks. Everything your tongs have been waiting for all week. So leave the conversation on red and enjoy every single day off at the grill. For quality meat, visit a Safeway near you.
Alberta is growing, but our highways are crumbling. Are you tired of the rough ride? In the last 15 years, our population has grown with hundreds of thousands more cars and trucks on our highways. Today, more than 15% of Alberta's highways are in poor condition. Cutting highway maintenance doesn't save money. It makes repairs more expensive. Don't let the government ignore the problem. Your MLA works for you. Tell them to fix our roads. Visit fixourroads.com for more information.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 at 1:29. Friday. I don't know why, but it feels like a long weekend. Probably because the sun is shining and it's nice. And Declan's sick.
Yeah, that might be it. Listen, I'm foaming at the mouth for the weekend.
You're also eating these fusion donuts that are delicious.
They are delicious. I've had quite a few. But no, I'm eating the other baking that the Real Deal Eddie Steele brought in.
From Bonton.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
I haven't had the Bonton. What's in there?
There's a bear claw in there now. There was some good stuff in there earlier. I had a cherry Danish for breakfast. It was fantastic. Today is I'm really getting fed today.
Yeah. Maybe Gazzola's friends won't bring stuff.
It's good. It could entirely be a thing.
I mean, Carius's friends, let's be honest here, they're a little more high rent.
Well, I mean, Greg Pilling stopped by, dropped off that that bottle of Fireball, except it's not Fireball
No,
in
it's
there.
whatever the
it's
hell Pill did.
homebrew or
As soon as I found out Pill had it, I said, okay, over there and no matches.
yeah. It was quite sharp.
I'll tell you stories about Greg Pilling that go back to the mid 80s in his basement with I don't know where he got the jukebox, but it was a real one and it was fantastic. And I don't think we left there till at least well past dawn. Bill's a great guy. One of my all-time favorite people I've ever met. And really genuinely kind. Just don't let him play a practical joke on you because they're spectacular. I don't even like bringing it up because it's like you put it out there in the ether and God knows what happens. Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. We had our clients out last night for a goodbye to Kevin, but also a thanks to our clients. Talked to many of them and just so proud to be working here and as part of this group. Edmonton radio was kind of at a crossroads 3 years ago, and it's just really, it really is fun to be a part of this bunch. They're great folks. Every one of them, even Declan, who's sick, all good people. And especially based on where we were before this all came together, it really is a delight to be a part of it. There's my 2 cents. I remember when Declan and I met at, I think, Second Cup in the West End. And we talked about this show and what it would look like and sound like. And, you never know with people, right? Declan's taking a chance on me. I'm taking a chance on Declan. But really good people. I will say that there's not a dud in the group.
That's nice of you to say that.
Well, I was looking right at you when I said dud. But,
yeah, I know.
But I didn't mean it.
But you have the tendency to look at me when you are mean to be talking to Declan. So, like.
Yeah, there is that. And
thank you for making it crystal clear for everyone at home.
No, but you're not. You're a bright young man. So I didn't.
Sure. Backpedal.
No. I've been very complimentary towards you, even though I don't have to be, Hey, Tide, I hear that Gonzo is in the morning, dude. Well, Greg, you're going to have to cut down the counter heights or just get a booster seat. Ha, ha, ha. Gazzola's not that short, is he?
He's taller than me.
Yeah.
So
I think the thing about Gazzola is that when he's done, his hair takes over. You can't tell me that's not the first thing people notice about Gazzola.
Yeah, definitely the first thing I noticed about him when I met him today. Yeah, he was here today.
Not a dud. Did Donovan quit? From Team Dean. Is Team Dean the one who gets after Donovan?
Yes.
Okay.
We also met Matt, the promo guy, yesterday.
Oh, great guy. Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Yeah. Really
and
nice
when he
fellow.
introduced himself to Declan or Donovan, he said, "Hi, like you and I have gotten it into some spats on the text line."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Matt, the promo guy. Donnie goes, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Is he the one he called a ornery?
No.
All right.
Not the guy.
Oh my goodness. Worry about your Flames there, Mr. Josh from Drew.
I'm not worried. Should I be
good,
worried?
They got a good GM. They're doing things really smart.
Things are going really well down south. Listen.
They got that White Cloud guy who's really good, and they could get something for him if they want to move him.
Yeah, they could. I mean, I think he really showed up and showed out when he got to the Flames, like basically playing top pair minutes as a guy. Was by far their best defenseman. I don't mind giving him reps because, like, he did get extended, I believe, unless he already had term. I can't remember at this point. But if they do want to deal him, he put the price for him up higher.
Absolutely, and he's a right defenseman, as I recall, and he can play.
And he really can play.
Yeah. No, you get a lot for him, especially right now because teams are building their teams. Always liked Tom Gazzola, said perplexed Oiler fan. I think most people do. I just liked him because Tom's connected. He knows lots of people. He gets scoops and insight. But he's a professional, broadcaster, and he's a humble guy, and he's easy to work for or with. I'm sorry, no, that's later in my life. I'll be working for him. What time do you need the limo by, Mr. Gazzola? That'll be me.
Think you're still going to be able to drive at that point?
No. Based on my drive, everybody in Edmonton drives like they're late for their $1 trillion check.
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that?
You are semi-correct in saying that.
Get the hell out of the way, because I got to get my $1 trillion check.
Well, so here's one that really annoyed me the other day, all right? So I drive on the white mud every day to and from work, where my apartment is. And listen, I do speed. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't speed. But when I'm in the right lane and I am passing people left, right, and center, like they're going the speed limit, I'm clearly going faster than they are, and someone feels the need to tailgate me, what are you doing? Like, why are you riding me right now? And then the part that really annoyed me was we got into a bit of a gap, but that's when the traffic in front of me slowed down because there's construction on the white mud.
Yeah.
So I got right up to where the person was and slowed down to 60 and like had my little gap. And this guy came out from behind me and then was diagonal from me backwards and then changed lanes into the right lane. My apologies. I was in the left lane. He went all the way to the right to go ahead of this one car that was in front of me to change lanes into the center lane again. And in this time, I had moved up. So I was in front of this person again, and they were just trying to get on the same road that I was going, taking the exit to Terwilliger. And they ended up right back where they started, behind me. What was the point of all of this driving? And why were you riding my butt like this?
Well, maybe they have, maybe they just have a circular life.
The funniest part, Al, followed me all the way to my apartment because they live on the same street.
Wow.
Riding my butt the entire way. And then took, one turn before me. I was like, that's crazy.
Did you see how old they were?
They were younger.
Okay.
Late 20s, mid 30s, maybe.
There's a lot of aggression out there, man. The guys go to work, girls go to work. They don't like their job. Then they get in their car and they're already late for, Entertainment Tonight. I don't know what people race home for,
Not Entertainment Tonight.
They're $1 trillion.
Yes. We're all going to make it home alive if we don't drive like idiots. I say driving like an idiot.
I think Edmonton road rage is a real thing.
Oh,
but the one good thing is taking the Florida radar away has really made things better.
It's really opened a lot of avenues.
Now it's like that highway in Montana where you can just drive whatever you want. Nobody cares. LT, what are we thinking of the new season of Only Murders in the Building now that they will be in London? I don't know. I can't wait for it. I've watched it over and over and over again from the beginning again. I just love that show so much that I need to watch. I need new stuff, man. I need to know when it starts so I can watch last season again. I don't think last season was the best season, but I want to make sure I've got everything ready to roll. And that will be my life when it comes out, much like my friend Declan and his complete obsession with Love Island. I swear to God, one day I'm going to be watching a promo for Love Island, and it's not going to be that girl in the skirt. It's going to be Declan because he's going to be on the show. How far are you away from doing that, Declan?
First of all, I haven't been watching this season because I've just been watching way too much World Cup with my spare viewing time, right? Like I haven't been watching. I don't know. Second, I don't think it's exactly a secret that I'm kind of a vain guy. Actually, according to someone on Twitter, the cockiest clown ever tweeted that at the Sports 1440
that
account.
was Connor Halley's burner.
Stung a little bit. I don't know if we needed all three descriptors. 2 out of 3 I think would have done the job.
Nailed it though.
Third one was the nail in the coffin a little bit. But this is a wraparound way of saying I could never be on Love Island. Like I am nowhere near good looking enough to be on that show. I also think, and I mean this with all respect in the world to the people who go on that show, I think you need a little bit of a lack of like care You know what I mean? To be on a show and I just couldn't do it. Like, I can't have a camera in my face 16 hours a day, listening to every conversation I have. I could just never do it. So they wouldn't take me and I wouldn't go. But I like watching.
All right.
Oh, God, Declan. Yes, I heard that.
All right.
Oh, he's got the Black Death over here. I'm 3 feet away.
He's either hawking a loogie or coughing up a lung. All right, we're going to take a break.
Go home, man.
On the way, I'm going to tell you what the Edmonton Oilers can do in the next 7 days to make their team different and I think better. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, and we're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Krueger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Good to go. Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly. Guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisqford.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$143, Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. 0% financing right now, up to 72 months on select 2026 Sierra 1500 models. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Well, we're just ahead of the NHL draft, trades, free agency, the whole kit and caboodle. We will have a July 1 show, 10 to 1, right?
10 to 1.
Who's hosting that?
You are.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm producing it, just so everyone knows.
Are you producing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like last year. You and me back at it.
Well, we called it last year. We said Ken Holland was going to overpay, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll call it again this year. All right. I'm going to tell you what the Oilers can do. I'm not saying they will do it, but what they can do from where they are right now. Because currently, Darnell Nurse is still a member of the team. So whatever they had planned, they can't go ahead with because they've got to move the Nurse money before they can do anything. But if they don't move the Nurse money, there are some things they can do. They can sign Ingram, or they can trade for Michael DiPietro, the Boston Bruins. He played for Providence last year. Really good goaltender. You don't have to overpay. You can go get a guy at the deadline if it doesn't work out. And we saw the Carolina Hurricanes run with a goalie that gotten on waivers to the Stanley Cup. So there is that. I'd like to see them sign. I know that Nurse is still here, and if he is, he obviously would be on the second pair, and the third pair would be Wallman and Emberson, and Stastny the extra. But if they're worried about the penalty kill, they can hire and sign a Vincent Desharnais. It wouldn't cost a lot. He's really good on the PK, and he's really tough. He's a mean guy, and you're going to run 8 defensemen. Don't tell me you're not during the year. So you might risk waivers on somebody like Stastny, but Desharnais brings some things. You can sign Lazar. Curtis Lazar is a player you could, plug in on the third or fourth line. You could audition Frederick or Doc on the third line with Dickinson and I'm assuming Nuge. And you can play Ike Howard on the second line because, if you can't trade Nurse, you could offer sheet Maverick Bourque if you trade Nurse, or make a deal for a right winger who's a little more veteran, who could come in here and play. But if you can't do that, then maybe you just play Ike Howard and you find out maybe you build enough value in him like Sam Pollock used to do during the year, and then you trade Howard at the deadline, or maybe he solves your problem. The worst thing in the world to do right now isn't nothing. It's something bad. So even if you just keep your powder dry, I know I've used that phrase a time or two. If it's not there, it's not there. You've already brought in Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson. So any thought of getting a right winger who can score has to be attached to trading Darnell Nurse, and that may not be possible. Do not trade Darnell Nurse for a flawed player making $7 million. That's not that. How does that make sense? You could trade him for Sealer or somebody that you could use on defense, and then take the other $5 million and go get Maverick Bourque or, Brian Rust or whatever player strikes your fancy. But you do have Ike Howard for the skill line. And now that you've got a third line center not named Nuge, I would have gone with Nuge at third line center. You've got that utility player in Nuge who can play second line left wing or third line left wing or center in a pinch on the second line. Not ideal, but you can do that. The Oilers are not in a bad spot. They're not. They were in the Stanley Cup 2 of the last 3 years. Most of the core of the group is still here. Bouchard's getting into his prime. There's good things about this team. Got to solve the goaltending. I like Connor Ingram. I was surprised nobody was talking about him in the early days of the postseason. It seems like it's picking up steam now. This is Joe Daddy, with the Canucks pretty much imploding this offseason, do you think there's a chance the Oilers could make a deal and bring in Jake DeBrusk in to help fill out the top 6 in Edmonton? It's not a deal I'd make because there's too much money attached. Otta's got to be smart about this. You're offloading Darnell Nurse. Don't onload somebody making, $7 million. If you can't get out of the salary hell, then don't trade Darnell Nurse. He should have enough value that you can trade him and get what you want. And if you want cap freedom, then that's what you get. Just hold out to it. Right now, there's only like 3 teams that can be dealt with, and they know that, and so they're holding tight on less than significant offers. Well, just wait them out. Man, I'm so happy you're not the GM, AJ. Well, me too. Number 1, I can't work those hours. Number 2, Stan Bowman's a really bright guy. I do not think
you'd make a terrible GM.
Stan Bowman?
No, you.
Why would I make a terrible GM?
I just
Mark Pouliot's my third line center. What's the problem?
Oh, there's a problem right there. I got a big problem all of a sudden.
Yeah, who would make on our staff? Who would make a really good GM? NHL GM.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again. I think we've had this conversation before, and I think what we came to our consensus as was David Schlemko.
Yes,
would be the best one.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Because Laddie is going the coaching route. He just is. Which, by the way, Laddie will be here next week. Then he's going to work at Sparta Prague in Czech. So exciting stuff for him. But he'll be a coach in the NHL. I think Schlemmer, that's a front office guy right there. He also hates analytics.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to.
No. I'm named after an analytic.
By the way, Schlemko, I think analytics liked him.
Probably. I mean, he was a good. So when I started working here, I went and I looked at Laddie highlights and Schlemmer highlights in the NHL. It's very tough to find Eddie Steele highlights, unfortunately. But I did go and find.
Steele was a real good player.
Second team all decade for the
one time
CFL or Double E.
One time Struddy asked me. One time Jason Strudwick asked me. He said, "What do the analytics say about me when I was a player?" And I said, "I don't know." And then I went home and deleted everything I ever wrote about Struddy on my blog. Maybe he's going to do a search and find us. I love him too much. He's such a good, kind guy. Nobody on those Oilers team had good analytics. So,
hey, you know what? Good job by you, Al.
Because you've been wanting to say, keep your powder dry since the 1260 days. We wouldn't have any players from Kyle. You wouldn't have overspent on any players either. Tulski has $7 million in cap room and he just won the Stanley. That should be the goal. Holy Hannibal. How many wasted contracts do you need on one roster? Well,
you could always have 1 or 2 more.
He says he's going to accept this deal, but let's give him a no movement clause.
Just to be safe.
Just
cuz. You know what? A little extra sweetener. Let's toss that in there.
Are you looking forward to working with Tom Gazzola now? Absolutely. Gazzola's I loved everybody. We didn't say we're splitting up, we're the Beatles and we're splitting up. The corporate decided that it wasn't going to happen anymore. But you will never hear me say a bad word about Dusty or Matt or Eric or any of those cats or anybody here. And if you do, call me because it's a lie. I'm very open about how I feel about the people here. I'm at a point in my life where I got nothing to lose. I'll tell you that Gregor is a first-class guy because he's always treated me well. And that Declan is just a star in waiting because that's what he is. And I don't know what Josh is going to do. I don't know what it's going to be.
Probably nothing.
A producer, or maybe he'll have a hit single, a remake of Prince's Kiss or something. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to be a star somehow. I don't know.
Probably dead at 32, face down in a gutter, drunk.
Yeah, well, just don't walk on any highways.
I won't.
Okay.
Never have, never will.
All right.
Declan, go home. I'm begging you. I'm pleading with you for your health. Please just go home. He's making the worst noises I've ever heard.
I know.
On this side of the desk.
I know. Every once in a while, I'll take a breath and I'll hear, are they wrestling a steer over there?
It sounds like he's wrestling for the opportunity to breathe. Go home and lay down on your side.
How stubborn? He was a boxer, so he's stubborn.
Well, so we did manage to convince him to just go home one day. We booted him out. I did both things. It was fine.
Yeah.
Just go home. Take your weekend's over already.
Gregor will be here, and so will Declan after the break. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please enjoy your weekend and the sunshine while it's here.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. For your next move in the Edmonton or area, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. News from the NHL is Olin Zellweger has been traded to the Sabres for the 45th pick and Anton Wahlberg. Brett Kulak signing a 5-year, $22.5 million deal with the Avs. Jordan Spence a 4-year, $20 million deal with the Sens. Brent Byrne also sticking around with the Avs on a 1-year salary with an AAV of $850,000. And in the FIFA World Cup, France leading Norway 3-1 at halftime. Senegal up 1-0 on Iraq, that one in the 45th plus 9th minute. Cabo Verde and Saudi Arabia at 6, Uruguay and Spain at 6, Egypt and Iran and New Zealand, Belgium both at 9. In the MLB today, we will see the Blue Jays in action as they play host to the Texas Rangers with a 5:07 first pitch. Corbin on the bump for the Jays. I'm Declan Krueger. This is